Well, you are driving that equipment.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this bears a bit of... you know, Warren said a bit earlier that he wants to see Warren's dealing.
Steve?
Come out of the window, you're just about to know. And we're actually in the right place for me to tell the tale. Okay, we're in the right situation in regards how way back me and Warren go. And other friends of Warren's from Australia. They were all knockabout kids. You wouldn't argue with that, would you? Not whatsoever. Now, there was when I played in Manchester, my home left Cheadle. Obviously I used to come from Cheadle to here, or I had the table at home, but when all them circumstances changed, I went into a club in Manchester, which is now no longer there, a 21 club, and I got very much involved with Paddy Brown and Tony Kearney. Now the point in question being is that none of them lads that were on their backsides, and you know, he said he wouldn't spit in the street and give a kid a chance to slip. I think that was. I didn't forget it. I mean, you're Australian in phraseology. It never left me behind. But there was people like Tony Kearney and Paddy Brown who couldn't afford to play for money, and I knew that. But yet, with all me as a player, I used to run around with them and so on. And one night I went out with Kearney, and I mean, this was much. I hope it's the right word. I hope my English is good. Much to Siobhan's chagrin, she thought, "What are you doing with him?" Out boozing, and one way or another, we found our way into a casino. Hence, I said this was the place to talk about falling out of a window over a game of cards. And well, I rolled home quite jaunty and probably worse for wear, and maybe Zan can help me out here. I didn't like losing on a snooker table, did I?
No.
I wouldn't stop.
Want to lose.
I wouldn't stop playing.
It wasn't a matter of money. It was a matter of just not losing. He wouldn't mind, just buy you all day drinks, not to lose.
But I didn't nobble any of my opponents.
Yeah, well, you just wanted to get games.
I wanted to play. I wanted to do it all the time. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. And I just like boxers have sparring partners these days. It seems to be the norm to have sparring partners. Well, such was the case with me. Anyway, going back to the real point, falling out of the window. Kearney took me about town in Manchester, and we were good old souls. And equally, you don't go drinking with any Tom, Dick, or Harry. I'd known Kearney from the Newry YMCA some 12 or 13 years previously, and I got a good impression of Kearney way back from then when I was the superstar. And I'm not saying that in past tense, we're talking real now, and I'm still quite heavy metal when I get my act together. But I was out with Kearney, and we'd done the casino, and I went home and I was well annoyed because I lost about I don't know, 600 or 700 quid, and I was cursing myself, and I was half legless. And at the end of the day, Blondie locked me in, and I don't know what I was drinking, but I must have been flying. And I had my lovely trench coat out of Louis Copeland's on, and it was a Dexter, and I thought, well, that doesn't look too far to drop down to. And of course, like, there was a gust of wind, and it caught one end, and it sort of unbalanced my landing. So I landed on one foot, and obviously I paid a very big penalty for having a night out with the lads. If it was like, we now and again reading the papers that the groom, was trapped in a pub, or he was trapped here, trapped there. Well, I mean, I've had them circumstances all my life, but they're highlighted just for the very fact that I'm Alex. But really, some of the things that have happened to me are quite priceless. And I think with hindsight, you're very lucky to hear me with tongue-in-cheek relating the story that it was Kearney's fault. It wasn't mine, it was Tony Kearney. He went out and got me drunk and got me in a casino and all the rest of it. And then I wasn't a big card player when I came in here, was I?
No, you wasn't.
I'd have a game, but I was more interested in this bit because I knew exactly all the cards and all the pockets and where all the aces were, how to treat that table. And ideally, I broke my foot. Well, I went to France and came back empty-handed.
I lost in France.
I came back with a point. And I got carried on into a car and carried onto a boat, and I was getting all that VIP treatment. Jeez, it was only reserved for I don't know, like royalty or whatever.
Terry Smith said you were really struggling in that Deauville tournament, but you just tried to stay out and try and get that.
I was only playing the slimmer of the year, Les Dodge.
That was hysterical, actually. Every player who was over there for that championship. I think there was 32 went over. I'm not kidding. Watching that match, there was like 38 spectators, and like 30 of them were snooker players, and the others were referees, and we're all hysterical in laughter. Like we were doubled over everybody in the aisles. It was so funny watching Alex run around this table.
Because he was
He
hopping
won.
around, wasn't he?
I can't believe it. He won.
Hopped his way to victory, yeah?
No, it
If
wasn't even.
nothing else, the man's got a lot of spirit.
No, it's not so much that. It's just the very fact that I know why I lost. You know that I won. I know why I lost because, I understood the very fact that it was embarrassing to probably a lot of people, but equally, I didn't. If you want to sort of get into this deeper than what you might think, I didn't spend much time on the practice table. You'll have noticed. Think about it. I was saving myself for the hopping ahead. So they couldn't have, there was 2 practice tables and they both had it, and I thought, too much hassle. I couldn't be bothered doing that hopping. I went there to get a point. And what's more, with a little bit more practice, and if I won one frame against Willie, and if I hadn't got a kick on the yellow, I could have been leading 2-1. And his bottle would have probably went then. I'm quite sure of that. But my point was proven. It was. I'm most certainly sure it was.
Speaking of racing, Willie's quite a character where that's concerned, isn't he? Willie likes a bet.
Well, Willie's not on this video. The next one we're going to do is it me to go?
Yeah. No.
Send to go.
Send to go.
Who's got a line?
Jim, do you want to throw a card out for Sam?
No, I don't.
So that's the Kearney, but that's the story
So
behind the window.
that's the true story.
Yeah, and what's more, if you imagine, I really got punished that night because I've had a lot of trouble with this eye. There's loads of stitches in this eye.
Yeah.
And I must be suspect to a left hook or something like that now. But by the same token, when I did go out that window, I took the tumble on this, my left leg, and this smacked the ground.
Yeah.
And I was sort of prone, for minutes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I came to and tried to get up and went down again. I thought, this is sore, isn't it? And then I thought, oh. And then they got me to hospital and they wouldn't give me no help anywhere. And I said, I'm Bupa, I'm not going in this place. Well, it's fair income, yeah. The Aussies coming out, it's fair income. I said, I'm Bupa and so on. And it was a very painful night because they wouldn't even give me anything while they were doing the stitches, never mind my leg. I felt like, ooh, Betty. it was quite heavy. Anyway, here it goes then. But that's water under the bridge.
Doug said it was quite a shock to you that fall. It was a shock to you your whole system, not just the damage, but your lifestyle in a way.
Well, I've stayed out of casinos ever since. And what's more, I can't give up snooker because, like, I've passed job centres and it says window cleaner wanted. Not for me.
Snooker's your life from now on, then.
Well, it's going to be a part of my life. Whether I hit the heights that I've hit before, that remains to be seen. But by the same token, I wouldn't forget me too quickly.
No, what a car. Got to take that.
Not twice in the spoon. Or how am I doing on the score? I think at this moment in time I'd like to leave them out of it because they're doing well at school, and I'm pleased about them in the respect that one thing that's always plagued me is the very fact that I haven't been mobile.
Yeah.
Do you understand me?
Yeah.
And regardless whether I was walking about sober or walking about drunk, I only need to get pulled once, and it's the end of story, because I have got a recognisable boat race.
You wanted me to teach you how to drive when you were living in Cheadle, didn't you?
Yeah, we were talking about it.
I said there wasn't enough money in the world could get me to teach you how to drive.
Thanks for you.
Can you imagine it? Drive.
Everyone a winner, right?
You don't think Alex has got the right temperament for driving then?
Oh, definitely.
I'd rather not be a passenger, put it that way. He's fairly unpredictable, isn't he? You know? As a snooker player, I think his driving might be something similar to that.
No, I think we'll, in regards to the kids, we can do, when I see two of the uncut versions, then we'll go into the studio and we can discuss my kids and the other, you know, we can organise that, because I don't want to pour out my heart about Lynn. And Laurie Lou and Jordan Patrick.
Okay.
So what, scores?
Just move it forward a bit. Oh, what? How's that? Sure.
So you just have to ask Alex anything and he just has to talk to you.
Well, I just have to talk. I didn't know Alex. Winning or losing?
Well, it could change on a card, but the boys are absolutely snookered. They need more cards than that.
Can we see one of them?
I'm just trying to be a preservative, you know, keep my lead. Now, all of you, if you don't know Kaluki, I mean, it's something you have to sit and plan. You have to pay to learn it.
You do one with me out now.
Yeah.
Can you use that, do you think?
Yeah.
Put me.
Just a bit tight. Yeah. Go inside, yeah.
Yeah, Alex, that's your drink.
Well, no, I just put that in there, close.
This one here. I have to give to
That's what they call Kaluki.
12.
37.
That's all.
37?
You do this well.
Hmm?
You do this well.
I'll give it a count.
There are people who know how to do
Oh, we're
it.
teaching Oliver. We're going to get him a
know,
new
I'm
project after this.
I'm still learning. I'm a long way off. But
No, you do it well. It must be a hindrance as well, because you look about 9.
I know, it's terrible. I'm actually 25 years old. I don't look older than 17.
Don't you?
I've still got to buy buses for 12p.
Can you?
We're going to get Oliver doing the hitchhiking.
Yeah, but you do it well.
Guys, just like Miami.
Oh, right.
Going to get you to do a Roger Cook in Miami.
Oh, I'm not sure that's true.
Yeah, you've got the bill for it, haven't you?
I'm a good runner, I don't know if that's it.
Oh, you need to be a good runner.
Now you have to be a good jumper.
I think that's good. I
Off
think
motorways, flyways, and all that. What, Jim?
I think that's very